On episode 266 of the 40 Plus Fitness podcast, we meet Nathalie Botros and discuss her book, If You Are What You Eat, Should I Eat a Skinny Girl? You can find the full show notes for this episode at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/266. Have you decided you're ready to make a change? To reclaim your health and fitness? The 40 Plus Fitness Podcast is here for you. I'm your host, Alan Meisner. I'm an NSAM certified personal trainer with a specialization in corrective exercise and fitness nutrition. Let me be your coach as you find your way on your health and fitness journey. All right, let's go. Thank you so much for being here today and being a part of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast. As you're listening to this, if you're listening to this the first day it releases on Monday, I'm on my way back home from my trip, my vacation, and from Keto Fest. Had a great time. Carl and Richard really did put on a great event up in New London, Connecticut. Really enjoyed my time up in the Northeast, visiting, traveling around, seeing the sights, and of course, being the trainer at Keto Fest and meeting some really great people and putting them through some really good exercise. Everyone seemed to have a really good time, got a lot out of it, and I really enjoyed having the opportunity to do that at Keto Fest. And if you're someone who was there, do shoot me a line. Let me know if you enjoyed the workout and if you enjoyed Keto Fest and what you thought of it. I enjoyed Keto Fest for a lot of number of reasons. One, just meeting people that were generally interested in ketosis, having the conversations with them about how they came about their journey and what it's done for them. And so many people that, weight loss was one of their original goals. They used ketosis as a tool for that. And then as a result, had so many other health benefits from ketosis that they just kept going. And so a lot of people have found health with ketosis. And it was very interesting to have those conversations and just share a little bit of my story with them, and then of course to have some great workouts. I did two different types of workouts with the folks there, and some of them were brave enough to actually hit both of the courses, which I thought was really interesting. So there was a basic strength course for beginners, and a high intensity interval training course that I did. And had good turnout for all of those, and really did work, folks. They were talking about it the next day about how sore they were and what it meant to them that they really are ready to get back into exercise because they enjoyed what we did and enjoyed the feeling of moving and what it meant. And so really a good time, and I enjoyed all the lectures that were given on Sunday. Learning a lot, and my wife was with me for some of them, and actually now is interested in pursuing a little bit of a keto lifestyle, and I'll work with her on that. So again, a really, really good weekend. Headed home right now as you're listening to this, if you're listening on Monday. So if I met you there, great. If I didn't, maybe next year. Would like to meet you. Now, another thing I want to share, obviously, I'm going to learn this week a little bit more about my shoulder, and because the MRI was done, and I meet with the doctor this week, so we're going to discuss what my options are about repairing my shoulder. So I'll obviously be able to share some of that information with you next week, but I don't have anything right now to really talk about other than ouch, it still hurts, and I'm dealing with it, just trying to keep from injuring it any more than it is. So I'm very ginger with it, very careful with it, as you should be with any injury. If it's, and it's something I said this week when I was talking to folks, is if you just have muscle soreness, that's probably a good thing. You're moving that muscle, and it's a little sore. If you have joint soreness, joint injury, that's a problem, and that's something you need to go see someone about. So had a lot of folks that came in had injuries, and we talked through how they could potentially still gain fitness with an injury. And as you know, I've been working around my injury so that I could complete the Spartan, so that I could do this training course. And now I'm ready to go talk to my doctor, and I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be surgery. But we'll find out this week, and I'll let you know. So our guest today is known as the Bon Vivant Girl, and she's lived pretty much all over the world. and settled in New York and started gaining weight and was really surprised at how difficult it was for her to lose that weight. Being the bon vivant girl, wanting the lifestyle and not willing to settle, she really worked hard to try to find that balance. And I've talked about balance on the show before, so I do think it's really important for you to understand that there are ways for you to find an eating style, a lifestyle that works with what you're interested in and works for you, not you working for it. So many times people think of these as short-term projects, and so in her book, if you are what you eat, should I eat a skinny girl? Kind of a play on words, play on a title, but it is a great title, and I really enjoyed the conversation with her, and I know you will too. So with no further ado, here is Nathalie Botros. So Nathalie, welcome to 40 Plus Fitness.
Thank you, Alan. I'm so happy to be here.
When I saw the title of your book, if you are what you eat, should I eat a skinny girl? And I just thought, that's clever. It's kind of funny, and it's kind of one of those truisms that I think people want that one easy solution. Like, just tell me the one thing to eat so I can lose. So if I just eat potatoes like Gillette Penn did, I'll lose all that weight. And seldom is it that simple.
No, I think it's not that simple. I mean, like the title, I put it a funny title to start with because I think, we always think when we're trying to lose weight, it should be desperation, like restriction and sad. No, it should be fun. We should enjoy it. Yeah. And my book, it's not, if I say one trick in my book, it's to be happy. If you are happy, you can make it happen. And happy, not like happy with your life, happy with your job, happy with yourself, with your body, accepted, you can do everything. So I don't want to talk about like the food that we put on the plate, but the primary food for me will be our emotions.
Yeah, and you start us out in the book by kind of going through the grieving process, the 5 stages of grief. And I like that as an approach because it gets you to a level of acceptance of we are where we are today. And now we have a basis of self-love to basically move forward to tomorrow. Because if we keep letting the baggage of yesterday ride with us and say, I see that picture of myself when I was 29 years old, and I just don't think I can ever look like that again. Well, I probably can't, but that's okay if I accept who I am today and say I just want to feel and look a little bit better tomorrow.
Definitely, but I don't think it has something to do with age. Maybe we look different, but I feel better and I look better today than I was 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's like people shouldn't think that, I gained, I got older, so it's normal that I'm not going to look better. No, I don't agree with that.
Oh, I do too. I do too. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
but
I think
acceptance.
Sorry, go ahead.
Told you so.
Yeah.
Acceptance is like, it's, some people say, like, if I accept who I am today, so why I should get better? I said, no. Accept today, you can always get better. And then once that you can accept, as you mentioned it very well, it's like, forget about the past, look at the future, and then get better.
Absolutely. And I just look at it and see there's so many people that think when they have, 50, 60, 70 pounds to lose, it just seems insurmountable to them when they're, I'm only going to lose 1 pound per week on this program. I need a program that'll make me lose it faster. And, you put it pretty clearly in the book. We didn't get where we are today in one day either. It took us a little while to get here, and it's going to take us a little while to get back. But if we're always progressing forward from that point of acceptance, we're going to do better.
Definitely. Definitely. It's like, I agree. I agree because I wrote it too. But definitely, it's like, I don't believe in all those, fast diets, because like if we lose the weight in a week, like 5 pounds in a week, the following week we can gain it back. It's like, let's be smart. Let's take our time. Let's not kill ourselves trying to lose a few pounds. Really, like, enjoy the process, continue living our life, and then lose it.
Now, one of the things you do in the book that I really, really liked, you do the food journal, but you do the food journal a little bit differently than I think a lot of food journals are set up. If you go on to some of the apps, they're like, okay, how much did you eat? And then you just count up the calories, and that's all you really get out of it, is to kind of generally know what the macro and maybe some of the micronutrients are about what you ate. But your food journal is a little bit different because it talks about not just what you ate, but where you were when you ate it and why you ate it. And I just think that concept of mindfulness about why we're eating the food we're eating was just really kind of a great approach. Could you talk a little bit about the development of the food journal and how people could use it?
Okay, so what happens is that, as you said, like a food journal, we know how to log in a food journal. We put every food that we eat for lunch, dinner, breakfast. To start with, we always lie about it because like we don't write down the 3 olives or the slice of cheese that we put in our mouth while we're cooking. We only put our real meals. In my food journal, I want you to put everything, but really everything, even like the little olive, as I said, or the little carrot that you put in your mouth. I want you to add everything. And then the difference between mine and the other is, like, as you mentioned, I want you to write down why you ate that, your mood, which time. I mean, like, was it at noon? Was it at 3 p.m.? Or was it like at 1 a.m. in the morning? You're like, okay, I'm hungry. And then where you were. And all this will help you to discover why you're eating that food and when. If you're eating this food because you're hungry, you're bored, or you're emotional. Because sometimes I notice I eat just to fill up time. I'm not hungry, I'm just eating. Or like if we eat, let's say we're in a rush and we eat at the counter, while we cook, this is not good. So maybe I should control that. After a week of logging all this information, when you look at your food journal, you can see already your weaknesses and strengths concerning food and the times. Maybe, some people, when they come from work, they're hungry. They eat the whole meal there, and then at night, they feel obliged because it's dinner to eat that. So how they can fix that? They can they can try to fix that in a way that not eating at 7 when they come, but instead of eating with the family at 8:30 p.m., to do it a bit early. So find the middle ground, to not have 2 meals in a row. For example, for my own experience, I noticed, because I used to say, I don't eat a lot. How come I cannot lose weight? But I noticed maybe I didn't eat a lot, but I was eating a lot of quantities. Even if it was a salad, it was like too much. And you have to eat, I believe that you have to eat a bit of everything, but in small quantities. So you taste a bit of everything. And even, as I said, even salads, too much salad, it's not good for you. You have to have other stuff. Like in my book, as I mentioned, like if eating salad would make you skinny, I mean, why all the cows aren't skinny? I mean, like if you follow that logic.
Yeah. And I think, I think one of the cool things of this is, you had one of the examples in there, and I think this is probably something that would hit a lot of us, particularly those of us that work in an office environment, is you stop at your colleague's desk and you have a small piece of chocolate.
Yeah, because it's there.
And now that you're writing it down, you realize that every day you stop by your colleague's office and you eat 3 pieces of chocolate. You thought you ate a piece of chocolate, but you really, now that you're paying attention to it, you realize I ate 3 pieces while I sat there and talked to her. And I do that every single work day. One, I need to take her to lunch because I've eaten a lot of chocolate from her. and two, I got to stop eating the chocolate when I'm at her desk. I still want to stop by and talk to her, but I've got to figure out a strategy to now avoid that chocolate. At least if that's what I want. I mean, I may want 1 piece, but I at least be aware that I just want 1 piece and not 3.
Exactly. And then like a lot of people, they work from home, or like moms, stay-home moms. Those people, they're not at work. Their temptation is, the fridge is very close by. They do a little thing at home, and then suddenly they're like, okay, what should I do? You go and you open the fridge, you start eating. It's why, for example, in my book, as I mentioned, I'm the bon vivant girl. Bon vivant means well living. And it's at the end of the day, when you think a bon vivant person, it's someone who lives well, means who's happy, but who goes out. Instead of staying home, that mom should go out and keep herself busy, to not be tempted to go and eat that food that she doesn't even want, actually. She just eats it because she feels like it's an empty time, as I call it.
Yeah, and you also have a tip in there of cleaning out your food so that you don't have that temptatious food in your refrigerator. And so if you are eating, it's a healthy snack that you've pre-prepared and you're ready for.
Exactly.
Now, one of the things that you had in the book, and I've actually I've mentioned this several times with lots of authors, but we've never actually talked about what these foods are. Is the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15? Could you go through the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15 and why one would be on one list versus the other?
Okay. What I like is like the Dirty Dozen sounds like a Western movie, you know. But so I always say. I mean, first of all, I have to make it clear. People think that eating organic can make them lose weight. It's not right. It's like eating organic will make you feel better because it has less pesticides. Unfortunately, most of the foods, to protect them, they're like heavily pesticide. And when we choose to eat organic, we're sure that they're not going to be heavily pesticide. But again, sometimes we cannot, afford the organic food, or like those foods, like we cannot find them. So in that case, I always say, go and get farm fresh because it's not bad and products from the season. And the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 is the foods. Dirty Dozen is like the 12 food that you shouldn't eat. You should really try to eat organic because those, when they're heavily sprayed with pesticides, even if you wash them truly, it's not going to be able to, clean itself. And the Clean 15 are the foods that obviously it's better to get them organic, but washing them or they're protected will be okay to buy them non-organic. But again, like some of them, you have to wash them. And would you like me to give you the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15, those cat foods?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the Dirty Dozen Plus, it's apples, strawberries, grapes, celery, peaches, spinach, sweet bell peppers, nectarines, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, snap peas, potatoes, hot peppers, blueberries.
Yeah, and you mentioned in the book that kale. Well, you mentioned in the book also that kale is moving up the list. That more and more it's being sprayed with more pesticides. As I think it's become a more popular vegetable like spinach, more and more people are buying it. So to get the volumes and do it, they're starting to be industrially farmed, similar to the way spinach is. So eventually, this will be probably a longer list, but. Yeah,
it's adding every year. Anyway, for me, like when I say it's true, and then when we it's like those, and you're right, like they're trying to produce so many. At the beginning there was only one kale. Now when I go to the market, like there are so many kales. I was like, which one I used to like? I don't remember which one I liked, like because they're doing it unnaturally sometimes and naturally. So we have to be careful, as you said, with kale as well. And then as kale is the new fashion, I haven't seen one restaurant without a kale dish. Even Asian restaurants have kale dishes now. It's like we have to be careful too. It's right. And then for the Clean 15, I'll say avocado, the sweet corn, the pineapples, cabbage, the sweet peas, onions, asparagus, mangoes, papayas, kiwi, eggplant, grapefruit, cantaloupe, cauliflower, and sweet potatoes.
All right. So, basically what we're saying here is that because of the pesticides that can't be washed off of some vegetables, they're going to be okay. And those are the ones, because they can't be washed off, those are the ones that you're going to want to seek out organic foods. Whereas the Clean 15 are some that if you do buy them non-organic, they're not going to have the pesticides problem, typically because they have some form of covering that's protecting them, or they're just not going to absorb those pesticides as much as some of the other fruits and vegetables on the list. So now, in the book, one of your tips is working out, and I really liked the way that you describe the value of working out and what it's going to do for you and how you can approach it. So could you talk a little bit about working out and how you see it?
Okay. So working out, we all know that you have to work out to feel better. This we know. But what we don't know that, I think people who work out knows it. First of all, it triggers, when we work out, we have our endorphins that come out, and the endorphins are like this, they trigger this positive feeling. I'm sure like if you work out, you know that at the end of the workout, you feel happy. And I think it's very important for our life to be happy. But also, a lot of people think that working out, they're going to lose weight. They have to be careful that when they work out, their appetite is going to open. So work out to feel good, to sleep better, although it gives you a boost of energy. It's why I prefer to work out in the morning, so I'm good during the whole day. And really, it should be a part of your life because it's going to make you healthier in the long run. Maybe today you work out, tomorrow you're going to feel some muscular pain, but tomorrow and after tomorrow you'll start to feel better. And a lot of people, they say, I don't have time for working out, and I think that's not right. We always have time. We have time to watch TV. If you don't have time to work out, to go to a gym, work out while you watch TV. You know, all those reality TV shows that we watch, like our guilty pleasures. Let's say every time that they say, oh my God, it's amazing, do 10 sit-ups. Or like every time, make it fun again. Every time that they're like, I love it, do another exercise, squats. You will see that you will enjoy, you will laugh, and then you will do your workout. Or you have 2 meetings and like they're not too far. Instead of taking a cab or the train, try to walk between meetings. There's always a way if you want to do it. And another thing that I see when people want to work out, at the beginning they get overexcited. They start to work out, like they should start with one time a week to get used to it. They say, no, I love it. I have to do it every day. And then like they get so overexcited that at the end of the week, they stop working out. So what I propose is that you should choose the correct workout, exercise for you, because that's very important. Maybe for me, doing cardio, it's not good at the beginning. At the beginning, I should do weight training or Pilates, Choose your battle and stick to it. If you decide to do once a week, whatever happens, do once a week. And then when you're ready to increase the quantity, do twice a week.
Yeah, and I think that's responsible to your body because our bodies were built to adapt to the exercise, but if you put too much on it, it is going to potentially hurt yourself. But beyond that, and I liked how you said that kind of, we get a little overexcited. We do it for a whole week, and then we take one day off, and then we're completely out of it because we've lost that fire. And so just kind of having a plan, knowing what you're going to do, easing into it, and having a why. You know that you want to be happy and healthy, but make it something that's convenient and fun. And like you said, it might be that you still want to watch that television program. You go ahead and buy yourself a little treadmill, and you sit there and walk on the treadmill while you watch it.
Exactly.
There's a lot of ways to work around your time schedule if you really have the desire to pick this up.
And also, some people think that working out should be only at the gym. You can do it outside. It can be walking. It can be group, like playing tennis. So it's a social activity, or playing any other sport. All these are social activities. So, like if you don't want to close yourself in a gym, you have other options. You always have options.
Yeah. Now, in the book, you have like 70 different tips, and all of them are actually really, really good. I'm going to say that my favorite of them, and I'm going to ask you to pick one of your babies, but it's number 26, and it's using the measuring tape. And the reason I like this is because a lot of times when we're talking about weight loss, our weight's going to go up and it's going to go down. It's almost never going to just go down. And,
of course.
And so it's so discouraging for someone to, the first week they lose 2 pounds, the next week they lose 1 pound, and then the third week they don't lose any. And now
or they gain.
Or they gain, yeah. Worse, they gain, and they're like,
yeah.
Well, I don't understand. And and I have to explain to them, well, okay, if you're a woman, you've got a monthly cycle. If you're a man or whatnot, or even a woman, maybe you had a little bit more salt in your food last night and you're retaining a little bit of water today. maybe you had a really good workout. You've gone to the gym, you started lifting, and because you really stress the muscles, they're absorbing more water to heal. So you weigh more. And unfortunately, the folks that get stuck on the scale often get discouraged when they're not seeing those things. But if they took the time to measure themselves, they would recognize that they're getting smaller. Their clothes are getting bigger on them and fitting better, or at one point not fitting at all, even if they're not showing it on the scale. So I really do like the idea of using a measuring tape, and I use measuring tape with all of my clients, and I tell them, let's focus on the measurements, because if we're getting your stomach smaller, you're getting healthier.
Exactly. And then we don't walk around with our weight, written on our foreheads. Who cares?
Well, about you said that in the book, and I thought, oh man, I actually had it written on my hand one time. I was doing a bungee jump, and because they had to make sure that the cords were appropriate to the weight of the individual, with a magic marker, they wrote 107 kilograms on my hand, and I hate to say when I was a little heavier, at 200, I guess it's 236 pounds, but they did. They wrote my weight on my hand with a Sharpie, and so it wouldn't wash off.
Oh God.
So
but otherwise it's like we're not walking around, and then like as you said, like maybe for women it's like we have the menstrual cycle. For everyone, maybe we ate Chinese, like we had too much soy sauce. It's like, as I call it, it's like water games. Like we shouldn't base ourselves. And then first of all, even if someone needs to weigh him or herself, they shouldn't do it every day. They should do it once a week.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of us that's actually true, because again, the disappointment of not seeing day to day, whereas on a trend, you do see yourself go down. So, but now tell me which one of these is your favorite. If I made you
I love
one.
all my babies. How can you ask me to choose one?
I know.
Well, I mean,
we won't tell them, okay?
Okay. No, I think actually the one that I really love, because like it's really where it clicks. My acceptance came from there. It's the first tip that I give is love and accept your body, because before loving and accepting our body, we cannot do anything. None of the other ones will work. It's like it's like really when I got the click, when I said, okay, I love myself. I have some weight to lose. I know that, but I accept myself. And then finally, like when I would go out, once that I had that confidence in me, nobody would even dare tell me you have extra weight, because I was so confident and happy with myself.
Yeah. I think that's fundamental for this, is that, if you don't have that self-love, it's really hard to stick with it, particularly when things get harder. It's
Exactly.
easy when it first starts, like, wow, I stopped eating all that junk food, and now I've lost, 5 pounds, and I'm getting into the gym. My knees don't hurt as bad in the morning. I'm able to walk and do things. I'm getting compliments. My clothes are fitting better. But then something happens. You have a stressful event at home or with your family, and now, you're traveling to the hospital instead of traveling to the gym, and you're not getting the workouts in, and now there's the vending machine, and things just get turmoil, and you get so down on yourself. And I think that's where a lot of people just really struggle, because life is not going to just keep working out and go. For most of us, we have a lot of things to deal with, and if we don't have that self-love as kind of the primary position that we're starting from, it just makes it very difficult for us to stick with ourselves when we're just not happy with what's going on around us.
Exactly. And I know that every day cannot be easy, but if my day starts bad, I try to find something positive about my day to make it better. And we can always find, if we really look, even if everything goes bad, there's always one thing positive. Let's work on that, like to feel better and to be more accepting and loving.
Awesome. So that, along with, like I said, 68 other tips we didn't talk about, are in the book. And again, Nathalie, it was an awesome book. If you are what you eat, should I eat a skinny girl? And Nathalie, if people wanted to get in touch with you, learn more about the book, get the book, where would you like for me to send them?
So they can see everything on my website, which is thebonvivantgirl.com. And also the book is available on Amazon, Kindle version and paperback version. And I'm all in all of the social medias.
Okay,
I'm
awesome.
everywhere. They
You're
cannot miss
everywhere.
me.
Can't miss you. Okay.
And then like if they want to contact me, I will answer right away. If they have any questions or any needs, I will contact them. I will answer right away.
Awesome. Well, this is going to be episode 266. So you can go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/266 and find links to everything that Nathalie mentioned, show a link to the book and links to some of her social media. So Nathalie, thank you so much for coming on and being a part of 40 Plus Fitness.
Thank you so much, Alan. It was fun to be here.
So again, I want to thank you so much for being a part of the 40 Plus Fitness. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, would you go to your podcast listener of choice and leave a rating and review? When I see those, I really do enjoy reading them. I really get a lot from knowing that you're getting value from this. So please, just take just 1 minute right now and go to review this podcast, give it a rating, and please subscribe so that you don't miss a single one. Next time on the 40 Plus Fitness podcast, we meet Dr. Jay Cohen and discuss his book, Cardiovascular Health, How Conventional Wisdom is Failing Us. Until then, have a happy and healthy week.